What's up guys, it's Callum here back with another video, and today I wanted to talk about a topic. This is going to come off the head, so sorry if I stutter, I have to think about it for a minute, but it's something that I definitely struggled with an awful lot when I was just getting started. And that question is how to build your personal brand when you care what other people think about you. Now, I think this really applies if you are in high school or you're in sixth form college or university or something like that, and you want to be building your personal brand because you see the opportunities in it. Maybe you followed some of these big personal brand players like Iman Gadzi, Ollie Chapman, Johnny Bradley. They're specifically from the UK, but also there's plenty from the US as well. I'm not really sure too many off the head, but anyway, that's beside the point. So you want to build your personal brand, but you really care what other people think. So I'm just going to give you some actionable tips as to how I personally dealt with this. And obviously now, like, I'm putting these videos up on YouTube, and I've been doing it for the past year. I haven't really picked up an awful lot in terms of like YouTube growth, but obviously as long as I'm consistent and consistently doing the research, I'm pretty confident that it's all going to grow and basically turn as planned, as how I envision it for myself. So essentially there's a few different things I did. The first one is separation. Now currently I have a personal branding Instagram account, or not personal brand, but a business Instagram account, which I use for client acquisition, which I use for networking, stuff like that, and promoting different offers and links and really providing value to the audience. And I also have another Instagram account on the other side, which is basically for my school friends, my college friends, stuff like that, where I'm a bit more personal, because at the end of the day, like, I'm an 18-year-old kid. I like to go to parties, I like to go to nightclubs, I like to do all that stuff as well in proportion. I like to drink, obviously I don't drink too much, but you know, I do this stuff as well, and I take pictures. And some of those pictures, I mean, obviously they're clean, like there's nothing bad going on wrong there, but I want to show them on my personal account as opposed to on my business account, just because really that's not something I want to share much on my business account, because it doesn't really align with the audience that I have. So yeah, that's just an example of like your personal and business Instagram accounts. So basically you separate each one of them, so you have one for business and one for personal. If you don't want specific people to see your business Instagram at the start, you can just block them and they'll basically never see what you've been up to, which if you want that, then go for it. This also applies to Facebook as well. So Facebook, I also have a business account which I focus on providing value and networking with like-minded individuals, and the other side I have a account for personal life, which is like friends and family and stuff like that. Admittedly, I don't use Facebook that much, but basically just what I do, I have that for family and friends, and this for business. Now, again, if you're worried what your friends and family are going to think if they see your business account, essentially what you can do is allow for only friends of friends to add you on Facebook. So essentially it's just in the settings, you go there, and that means that, to see your stuff, so that means that no one who isn't a friend of your mutual friends can see any of your content. So basically you just add a bunch of different entrepreneurs and like-minded people, and none of your family or friends or close friends will ever actually see what you post, or probably will never even see the account if you don't want them to. Or obviously if that doesn't bother you at all, then you can add them all up. But when I was getting started, like, I wanted to post on Facebook because I knew there was a lot of potential there. However, I didn't want to like post on my personal account where I knew I had a bunch of school friends and stuff like that, because honestly I was kind of worried about what they would think, so I tended to avoid that. And lastly, obviously with YouTube. Now, YouTube's hardest because you can't really block certain people out from seeing your content on YouTube, so you can't really avoid anything here. Obviously, you don't have to show your face, or you don't have to even speak, or call yourself your name. Obviously, I do all these things, but I've got to a point in my life where I don't really care what people think about me. Like, obviously, I take people's opinions into account, but if someone's going to be disrespectful and their vision isn't aligned with what I'm doing, I'll basically just cut them out of my life. Like, I don't care anymore, because we only need positive shit, right? Like, don't want to deal with any of that negative shit. So yeah, guys, YouTube obviously is the hardest, but once you really overcome that fear of video and talking to yourself on video, it gets so much easier. Like, my first video was about a year ago now, and obviously at the time of speaking I'm just over 200 subs, so haven't really picked up too much growth, but obviously I'm consistent with it and I definitely see a lot of potential, as mentioned. But you basically, your first video is going to be bad. You can look back at mine, it was terrible, and admittedly my videos are still not great. Like, I don't have an amazing camera, I'm just using my phone, but it's all about getting that content out there, because that's really the most important thing. As Gary Vee said, it's about documenting and not creating. So yeah, regardless of that, the overall question is building your personal brand whilst caring what people think. Obviously it's difficult, but once you get to that stage where you really don't care what people think, and honestly, people don't care as much as you think they do. People may take the piss, but like, at the end of the day, that's just going to happen if you're putting yourself out there like this. But yeah, guys, like, really, people don't care. Like, they've got too much problems going on in their own life that they don't care really what you're doing in your life. So honestly, whatever's going through your head in terms of what you might be thinking, that people will be thinking about you, like, is pretty much not going to happen. So yeah, guys, that's basically the whole topic discussed and what I wanted to talk about. So I hope you found this valuable. If you are in sixth form, or you're in high school, or even you have a job and you want to start your YouTube channel but you are worried about what people think of you, this is one that really can apply to you. So separate, reject, I didn't get onto that, but by reject I mean gradually begin to cut people out of your life. Obviously cutting people out completely is very rude and you don't want to do that at all, but potentially if you're in the UK, you probably know about group chats. Like, the whole squad is in there and they're talking about the next parties to go to. They're talking about a lot of stupid shit that you find funny, but maybe instead of replying immediately, you leave it like 30 minutes or an hour until you reply, because you are working on a business meeting, or you're doing cold calls, or you're watching a course or something like that. So yeah, guys, gradually begin to cut these people out. Obviously not entirely, but because you want to keep these close friends as well, but also be looking for new friends and new ways to network with people, specifically online. I found quite a lot of people on Instagram that I've came to know quite well now. We have a regular phone calls, and that are really like-minded to me, who are also 17, 16, 18-year-old. Hard to find people in the UK. I know there's quite a few, but I mean, if you're a young UK entrepreneur, probably in sixth form, then please get in touch with me, because there's really not many of us, like. So yeah, guys, get in touch. So that's basically all I wanted to discuss regarding your personal brand. So get to it, guys, and if you really want to build something, you can do, and I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you found this useful. Regular content is coming back as usual, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.